At night they roosted in a nearby tree while she slept. One morning Meng awoke, trembling with cold. Her fingers and toes were numb and she ached all over. Reaching to pick up her bundle, she was surprised to see Chi Ling's shoes standing neatly, side by side. The blackbirds, her guides and constant companions, were gone. They had fulfilled their mission, for they had led Meng close to her destination. Meng dragged tear-swollen, painful feet along a dusty road. At first the road was flat, then it began to climb steeply. When she reached high ground, her eyes took in an incredible scene. The figures she saw moving about resembled a scurrying swarm of ants. She quickened her pace. Now she could see more clearly. Files of men, backs bent under the weight of heavy stones, were struggling to the top of the unfinished wall. Others were lugging buckets of mortar to fill the spaces between the rocks. Covered from head to foot by the dry brown sand, they were indistinguishable one from the other. How could she ever find Chi Liang among that multitude? With unaccustomed boldness, she approached a small group of men who were attempting to warm their hands over a smoldering fire. Timidly, she explained, "I am looking for my husband. He is called Chi Liang." She told them the name of their village and the day on which he was conscripted, but they only looked at her with pity. "I am sorry I cannot help you," said one of the men. "This wall has no beginning and no end. The wind batters us, the snow blinds us, we have little food and no warm clothing. There is only toil without rest. Every day we see good comrades fall, and many more will die of exhaustion. Hundreds are already buried inside the wall. We admire your loyalty to your husband, but you should not endanger your own life trying to do the impossible. Better that you return home. You will never find him." But Meng could not be discouraged. Bravely, she continued to search. Wherever she went, she asked for Chi Liang. The relentless wind tore at her clothing. Her face and hands became rough and red from exposure. She ate very little and slept hardly a wink. At last, fatigue conquered her, and Meng fell asleep on the frozen ground. She did not know how much time had passed before she became aware of someone prodding her. "You must not lie here, or you will freeze to death," a man warned. Shaking uncontrollably, she managed to say, "I am looking for my husband. He bears the name Chi Liang." Once again, she recited the name of their village and the date on which he was taken. "Yes, I knew your husband," the stranger responded. "I remember him well. We were assigned the task of making bricks, and he was the best worker in the section. It pains me to tell you that we found him one morning covered by the newly fallen snow, lifeless. With many others, he lies buried within the wall." Ming could not hold back the flood of salty tears that stung her cold cheeks. She blamed herself for Chi Ling's death. She had come too late to save him. How can it be that so gentle a husband has perished so young? The Great Wall takes more lives than the plundering enemy. A wife's devotion can sometimes move mountains. Wailing bitterly, Meng cried out to heaven. The sun vanished behind threatening clouds. A violent tempest churned up the powdery sand, and rain fell in icy sheets. Bolts of lightning streaked through the sky. With a deafening clap of thunder, a section of the wall collapsed, bricks and stones spilling out together with human bones and skulls. "Do not be alarmed, brave wife of Chi Ling. Heaven has witnessed your sorrow. You will seek out your husband's bones from among all the others." The words were sharp and clear, but there was not a soul in sight. Meng stood transfixed amid the pile of rubble. "But how will I know which among the many are his?" "Have no fear. You will succeed, for when love is sincere and your feelings are true, you will succeed. He will know you. His blood, his bones, his very tissues will mingle with yours. Do not despair. You will find him." "Alas," moaned Ming, "in this jumble lying here, strewn this way and that, are the bones of Chi Ling. "O mountains, hills, desert of yellow sands," she pleaded, "favor me and give me a sign that I may recognize those that belong to him. I cannot choose, for I cannot tell one from another." Unaware of what she was doing, she bit down on her thumb until she drew blood. She watched a drop fall upon a bone, slide off the surface, and reach the ground. Suddenly, the words she had just heard took on meaning. "If the bones are Chi Liang's, my blood will mingle with his and sink into them. If the bones belong to others, the blood will remain apart." This time, with determination, she bit down harder and then shook her hand, spattering the blood about. What she hoped for did not happen. Again, and still again, she tried. Each time her blood slid quickly off the bones. "One last time," she told herself. Though the pain brought tears to her eyes, she bit down with all of her might. The blood flowed freely, and she flung it as far and as wide as she could. One quivering red dot landed on a bone lying apart from the others. At once the blood sank into its chalky whiteness. This bone must belong to Chi Ling. Of this she was certain. Feverishly she continued to search, and soon she recovered the rest. Chi Ling's bones would receive proper burial, and his soul would not have to wander aimlessly in search of peace. Laden with the heavy blow fate had dealt her, Meng turned to the south and began her sad journey homeward.